Hello, 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 Facebook family and friends. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Wisdom Walk number 84. I know the secrets. Now, I just attempted to do this on my walk, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist or whatever they call them, but it's so funny. Right about when I said I'm going to unleash these secrets, my service went out. I've done tons of wisdom walks on the same trail. Yes, every so often I get a little glitch in the system, but it doesn't go out for as long as that did. It shut me down. But we're going to leave that one alone. So I'm actually heading back close to the house, and I will start over because this is worth talking about. This is probably going to be the most significant wisdom walk I've ever done. The information on this wisdom walk, and by the way, I saw some of your comments that you started on the first one I was just on, so please feel free to rewrite the comments. I do appreciate them, and I appreciate the love and the comments you guys make because it helps others. So it's real interesting. We've been on this journey for many years, and I've always had, well, I haven't always, but recently I have committed my life to giving back. You all should know that by now. You know that I do it out of love. I do it out of paying it forward, and I do it for free. I don't charge for the mindset training and all the things that will enrich and change your life forever. God is such a great God, and he's been so amazing to me that this is my calling, and this is what he's asked me to do, and I'm going to be obedient. And I cannot tell you how important this wisdom walk is. If you listen, which by the way, I'm only going to give you a few little hints. It's going to probably take me 30 to 90 days to fully explain all of this to all of you. And I'll do it on our weekly meetups. And you'll probably see some posts also, but you're probably going to get a headache with me trying to explain some of it right now. I'm not going to go into massive detail, but you're going to get the point. And the point is, I know a bunch of secrets, and I'm going to tell you these secrets. I'm going to show you these secrets. Now, I've been doing this for several years, and I've been breaking it down by little bite-sized pieces for many of you, and congratulations, many of you have done exactly what you were meant to do. I don't get any credit. I don't want any credit. I just brought out in you that was there, that was already there. The best gift that many of you gave me was allowing me to read my eulogy before my death, which is a gift upon itself. Thank God for that gift by you guys writing that book and publishing it on Amazon. And that was something very special. It will always be special in my heart, and that actually fired me up even more. It's so interesting when people give, you get more fired up. And since that book, I've been more and more fired up, and more things are landing in my lap to help even more. And when I tell you I ran into something yesterday that not only will change your life, it will change your children's life. It will change their children's life. This is generational. Even the stuff I'm teaching is generational, but this just hyper speeds everything. I'm meeting with the CEO today, and trying to see what type of deal I can work out and what type of system I can work out with it. So I will give you guys more details, but I want to give you the 30,000 foot level about some of the secrets that I've learned. Now, many of you knew that the Queen and I were in a mortgage financial services, real estate, MLM business back in 2002 to 2008. We did very well. Retired ourselves from that, made tons of money, was number one in the nation, helped a lot of people, but we helped ourselves more because I didn't have that calling back then. And it was pretty amazing. And about halfway through that, there was a product that came to us that we had several hundred people use, and it was mind-blowing. I didn't really understand it myself at first, but then I quickly got to the point, I'm trying not to lose my signal anymore. So this wisdom walk is going to turn into a wisdom sit. So I'm actually going to go in the backyard, and you'll probably hear the water from the koi pond. But I'm going to sit because this is too important. And anyway, so there was a loan that came out of Australia. And many of us really don't understand the different things that different country has. But most people in Australia, their homes are paid for. You can look that up. And this loan allows you to pay off your home in 5 to 8 years. And hundreds of people followed me, even though it was very, very controversial and people didn't understand it. They followed. So now we're turning into a wisdom sit. And 2 of my sisters paid off their loan, many of my friends, and it was insane. 30-year mortgage paid off in 5 years. It was just insane. We weren't able to do it because they wouldn't do anything over $1 million. But so we had other things that we worked on. So that was the first sight of understanding what this was. But here I am, 15 years later. See, that was about 20 years later. It landed on my lap again. It's not a loan, but the concept is the same. And it's the secrets that the wealthy will never tell you. The secrets that the government will never tell you. The secrets that people do not want out. And it's interesting. I can stand at a mountaintop and shout this out. It is so, I don't want to say hard to understand, but it's so left field that the wealthy that know it's true will probably laugh and go, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's crazy. Even though they do it every single day. Because when was the last time you had a wealthy person or a wealthy institution come to you on your doorstep, say, hey, I'm worth 10 billion, 15 billion. Just want to give your family a couple $1 million. Okay, this is getting really suspect now that every time I say that, the signal goes weird. I wonder if someone doesn't want me saying this. Interesting. Okay, I just moved to the Wi-Fi and I'm right next to where the Wi-Fi is. So we should be cool. Anyway, so when was the last time someone showed up at your doorstep with a helping hand and gave you something for free? Just like, hey, give you something for free. Here's $2 million. I'm not talking about giving you a bowl of sugar. $2 million. Pay off your house. Pay off your debt. It just doesn't happen. So I'm going to break down some of these secrets. But again, as you know, I do everything with documentation beats conversation. Whether or not you want to believe me or not, that's up to you. You can look. You don't have to listen to a word I say. In fact, you can just turn this off and keep going. The ones that listens, obviously, it's changed your life, because I'm not sure how many people will spend a year writing a book, publishing it, sending it to Amazon, just in honor of the things that I've done, so I actually can read my eulogy before I die. So that's got to be worth something. And just for a reminder, 8 years ago, when Bitcoin was $3,000, I got on the same Facebook Live and told all of you to get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin just broke 61,000 today. For the second time, it's broken 60,000. It's probably going to hit 80 to 100,000 in the next few months, year, whatever. Who knows? I don't know. It may drop back down to $1. I don't know. But when opportunity strikes, you better listen. And I do things that are nowhere close to the norm. This is why I don't have to do anything all day, every day. You guys can follow my feed. I'm not trying to sell books. I'm not trying to sell YouTube views. I'm not on YouTube. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on Instagram trying to get paid from those. I do everything privately because I want this to be private. And the stuff I'm about to break down to you guys in the next 30 to 90 days will not only give you a headache, it will make you very upset. I'm going to give you a little taste of it today, okay? Because I'm hoping the CEO and I can cut a deal with the software that's going to break everything down in layman's terms, because if I didn't have software to break this down to show you the proof, I don't think I could ever show you or could ever explain it to you. It's just, there's so much, you have to be a mathematician multiplied by 1,000 to understand what I'm saying if you don't have a software. And I think I found the software yesterday. So I do this manually. I've been doing this manually for years, but it's very hard to explain. So I just keep my mouth shut because the hater's going to hate. But now that I have documentation based conversation, it's going to blow your mind. So let me kind of start a little bit. So Jamie Dimon is the CEO of Chase Bank. She makes $35 she or he, I don't even know if it's a she or he because I've never looked at the picture. I just know the person's name is Jamie Dimon. $35 million a year plus stock options. For doing what? For running a bank? What does that bank actually do? They loan money. Credit cards, home loans, whatever. And they take all the money that's in our bank account, and you guys, well, here's secret number one. I hope you know this is pretty easy to understand. All your money that you have in the bank is being worked by that bank every second of every day to make the bank more money. That's why they can pay you $35 million a year. But that's the small part. That's a little teeny little bit part. So I'm going to show you in the coming weeks and months and years how to do exactly what the bank does. And it's going to retire you, your children, their children, generation. And this is not hype. It's a fact, because 1 + 1 is 2. You may think 1 + 1 is 5. You may think in my airplane story that the airplane's in the air and it's not in the ground. But just because you think something doesn't make it true. I have facts behind everything I do. I told you guys back in 8 years ago to get Bitcoin. And if you did, could you imagine if you bought Bitcoin, $10,000 worth of Bitcoin back when I told you, where you'll be today? Anyway, I'm going to stay off the Bitcoin situation. Let's get back to what I'm talking about. So, $35 million a year. Some of this may be a little confusing, but I will break it down and give you documentation later. But I'm just going to scratch the surface a little bit. I want you to think, if you have a mortgage, I want you to think for a minute. And I'm going to make a statement that's going to be very controversial, but it's very true. And you may not understand it when I make it, but it's very true. Whether or not you understand it or not doesn't make it that it's not true. I know this to be a fact because I've seen the facts. I'm living proof of it, and I know it's true. Interest rates don't matter, ever. They don't matter. If you're buying a house and like right now they're saying, oh, rates are 6% or 7%. It used to be 2% in your houses. The economy is going to fall apart. Oh, the world's ending. Oh, all this stuff is happening. I don't care if interest rates are 2%, 4%, 6%, 8%. It don't matter. And I know a lot of you sitting here going, okay, Clayton, you've been playing with the coefficient a little bit too much. Something's wrong with your brain. Ain't nothing wrong with my brain, because you just don't understand. And when I explain it to you, when I educate you, not educate you, but educate you, you'll understand, because the rates don't matter. Because you may think you're paying 2% or 3% of your mortgage. No, you're not. You want me to tell you how much you're paying on your mortgage? More like 160%. More like 170%. And if you fall into the trap that many do and refinance, you're paying more like 250%. And you're like, Clayton, what are you talking about? I looked at my paperwork. Go pull your mortgage contract right now that you notarized and signed. It says 2.5% right here. Clay, you're wrong. How can you say I'm paying 100? Ooh, how could you say that? You are paying 150 to 250% return interest rate. Yes, you are. I know you don't understand, but let me try to break it down. Go take a look at the first month, year, 2 years, 3 years you paid on that mortgage. Let's assume you have a $3,000 mortgage and your mortgage payment is due in 2 days, because March 1st is in 2 days. And you just bought this beautiful home. You signed your contract. It's a 5% rate. You think that you did bad because a couple of years ago it was 2%. It don't matter if it's 2%, 5%, 7%. It don't matter because you're paying 150, 200% anyway. So you paid this $3,000 payment. Go take a look and see how much of that $3,000, let's assume you don't have escrow involved, $3,000, take a look of how much goes, and let's say you borrowed 500 grand. Take a look at how much on month number 1 comes out that 500 grand. Your new mortgage balance after your $3,000 payment, it's not $497,000. It's $499,905. You may pay $20 in interest off of a $3,000. Oh, I just got a notification. Bitcoin just hit 62,000. Interesting. Anyway, you pay $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 interest on a $3,000 payment. What do you think Miss Diamond at Chase Bank and the stockholders of Chase is doing with your $2,950 multiplied by millions of homeowners? They're taking all that money and becoming wealthy while they keep us down. I can turn that around on them. I can teach you how to do the exact same thing they're doing to us, but you do it for yourself. But it will take me a little time. It has to take me that computer program that I'm going to show you that hopefully I can secure today. And then we'll start within the next couple of weeks breaking this down for you. But your interest rate ain't 2%, it ain't 4%, it ain't 5%, it's 175%. So multiply it out. So that $500,000 loan, by the time you pay for it at 30 years, which by the way, after 5 years, you refinance and make it another 30-year mortgage, and then you go another 2 or 3 or 5 years, then you refinance and make it a 30-year mortgage. And by the time you're done, why don't you see how much you paid? If you paid in $1 million on a $500,000 loan, you just paid 100% interest. If you paid $1.5 million on a $500,000 loan, you just paid 150% interest. I don't care what your paperwork say. I'm giving you facts. 1 + 1 is 2, whether you want to realize 1 + 1 is 5. I don't care what you think on that situation. You ain't paying 3% interest. You're paying 150, 200% interest. Facts. Okay? So, this is just mind-blowing. So, you go through this process of paying all this interest debt, student loans. I know people that are 60 still paying on student loans. The student loan was 20 grand. It cost them 150 grand. What's the interest rate on that? 500%? Ladies and gentlemen, they do not educate us this stuff in school. But I'm going to educate the ones that want to follow NV Social, because I'm going to give you all this stuff for free and show you all this stuff. Okay? So it's just crazy when you think about it. I mentioned to many of you many times that you need wealthy people do not spend money. They spend the money that their money makes. And that's what many of us at NV Social has been doing. Okay? And it works out great. And that's a little piece of the puzzle. That's a little piece of the secrets I've given you. But I got a whole bunch more to give you. But I have to put it on a software to show you, because some of the stuff doesn't make sense if I speak it. You have to see it. I have to show you the math. I have to show you the figures, okay? And when I show you this, you're going to go, oh, it makes all the sense in the world. Why didn't I think about this? Because that's how I felt when I started learning it. So let me give you another little secret. So you have your 401k. By the way, it's the worst thing in the world you can do. Worst thing in the world you can do. You have your 401k or your retirement account or whatever, and there's 100 grand in it. And when COVID happened and all that stuff, we all know what happened, and we all know what continually happens to 401ks and your retirement money. You lose a whole bunch. So let's say you had 100 grand and you lost 50%. So that's 50 grand gone. And then the market rebounds. And the market rebounds to 50%. Please pay attention to what I'm saying. And the market rebounds 50%. The same 50% that you lost. You were lucky enough for the market to rebound the same amount that you lost. And you're like, whew, phew.
It rebounded. No, it didn't. You still lost 25%. You're still down 25%. The market can't rebound 50% for you to be made whole. The market has to rebound 100% for you to be paid whole. $100,000 investment in your 401k, it loses 50%. You have 50 grand. It makes the 50% back. 50% of 50,000 is 25,000. 25,000 plus 50,000 is 75,000. You had 100. You're still down 25. So now the market's got to do way better than it did for you to even break even. This is why I'll be teaching all of you to get an IUL. Because in the IUL game, when the market drops, you are zero loss. And when the market goes, I don't want to mess with your brain right now. I'll give you this stuff later. Okay? So that's just another little tidbit. So, our goal and my goal for you in the coming months is for every single person that wants to listen to me, you will have and cross our fingers, please say a prayer that my meeting goes well with the company and I can get the software. I really would like to buy the software. I don't think they'll sell it to me. I really would like to white label the software. I don't know if they're going to have to do that. So I may have to jump through some hoops and do the dog and pony show with them to get it. But I need that software. And if I have that software, every single I will be standing on the mountaintop for anybody that wants to listen to me. Every single one of you will be able to go to your phone, go to your computer, log in, and the first thing you're going to see is a date that you will be debt-free. And that date will be 20 to 30% of where you think you are today. So if you think your house is going to be paid off in 30 years, it's going to be 10. It's going to be 8. And you don't have to spend another dime. You don't have to, if you like to golf and you like to buy $300 worth of pizza every week, every month, every day, and this is what you spend, you don't change anything about your life. You don't save any extra money. You don't spend any extra money. All I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you what the banks have been doing to us for eternity. And if the banks stop doing that, Jamie Dimon's salary will be about $150,000 a year, not $35 million. So all that money that we're paying, I'm going to show you how to keep. And it will be when you see this, it will be, it turned in from a wisdom walk to a wisdom sit. But I just didn't, I couldn't, mathematically, I couldn't teach you this without the software. And I pray to God that I get the software today. And if I do, I will change anybody. You think I've changed your life now? We just scratch the surface. We're going to take back everything they're taking from us, and we're going to give it back to ourselves. And that's what's going to happen. So, pray today for me that our meetings go well, that I'm able to pull this together. I'm hoping I can pull it together this week. I'm hoping I can get it done before our Saturday meetup. And if I do, it's on. But this is not a thing. This is a crusade. Well, I'm already on a crusade for Envy Social of giving back and paying it forward. This will blow your mind when I show it to you. And I just gave you scratches of the surface. Again, if you don't believe me, multiply your mortgage payment by 30 years and remember how much you finance. If you finance $1 million and your mortgage payment is $10,000 a month, that's what? Let's do easy math. That's $120,000 a year. That's 1.2 in 10 years. That's 2.4 in 20 years. That's 3.6 in 30 years. You paid $3.6 million for $1 million loan? Oh, Bitcoin just hit 62,747. Just got a notification. Up 10% today. You paid 3.6 million. You paid 306%, 360% interest? Oh, but wait. Your contract showed you paid 3% or 4%. No, you didn't. That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to believe. And they're taking that $10,000 payment, that $4,000 payment, that $2,000 payment, and every single day they sweep that money out of the bank into the S&P 500, into whatever investments they do. And they go out and they make a whole bunch of money, and they give you 0.000000001% on whatever you have in the bank account. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to change all of that. I'm going to show you how to knock down all your debt, all your interests. So, I can't wait. Pray for me today, please, ladies and gentlemen, because we have something special coming to Envy. Not only do we have the insurances and the IULs, which most of you don't know what an IUL is, but the wealthy people know what an IUL is. In fact, I'll just touch on that in a little bit. I hope this never happens to anyone. It's happened to a brother-in-law and two of my brothers, that they were diagnosed with cancer. And you have a certain amount of time. Hopefully some live, some don't. But when that diagnosis happens and you can't work, what happens? If you had the right IUL and the right insurances, you get a check. A check. What do you get now? A burden to your family. Nothing happens because they don't teach this stuff in school. They don't teach it. But I'm going to teach it to whoever wants to listen. And again, I don't have a cost. I'm not going to charge you to teach it, but I do have a cost. The cost is you have to go low. Give one, lift one. You have to pay it forward. So let's say you listen to me, and in 2030, you are debt-free. Your mortgage is paid off. You used to have $6,000 a month going out in bills, and now you only have $1,500 going out in bills because there's bills that you'll always have: utilities, car phone, cell phone, gas, all that stuff. But you freed up $4,500 a month. You freed up $8,000 a month. You freed up $15,000 a month. Because of this program, I'm going to teach you. I don't need you to send me a dime, but I do need you to go low. Give one, lift one. So when you have that pocket full of money, you're going to walk around to the area, to your neighborhood, and you're going to pass out $100 bills. A gentleman came to my home last night with his son, put up my wash system in my garage with spot-free water and all that stuff, and he told me it'll be $150. I gave him he didn't finish the job last night. He has a couple parts to do. I'm going to give him a total of $400. He wanted $150. So the $150 job just turned into a $400 job. I gave him half today. He doesn't know I'm going to give him another $200, but I gave him $200 and the $150 yesterday. He goes, "Oh no, sir, I didn't finish the job yet. You can pay me tomorrow." I said, "No, you take $200, come back tomorrow, finish the job, and do whatever you need to do. And then when you finish, I'm going to give him another $200. So those are the paid forwards that I need you to do, because here's why. Not everyone's going to listen to me because nobody understands, or they don't think they understand, because they're not willing to buy Bitcoin like I told you to. They're not willing to do ET like I've mentioned to you. They're not willing to get the mindset training like I've mentioned to you. I had someone message me yesterday that said, I passed my courses for my whatever exam they were doing. I have never done 100% on my courses and passed with flying colors. I've never done that. But Clay, your wisdom walks and your mindset training put me in a whole different position in life, and I aced that test. That has nothing to do with finances. That has nothing to do with money. I had someone message me 4 days ago. My relationship was rocky. I was going to go through a divorce. Do you guys know how expensive a divorce is? If you've ever had one? I was going through the divorce. My wife and I started following you. Your wisdom walks, your daily things, so the 21-day challenge, and now we are the happiest we have ever been in our lives. That have nothing to do with any money. I didn't charge them. I didn't do anything. All I did was brought out what you already have in you. I get zero credit for this stuff. I am just on the mountaintop giving you information with proven documentation that you can make your own decision because you're a smart individual. And if you don't get it, then don't do it. But we're about to go for a ride in 2024 that you will remember for the rest of your life. Your grandchildren will thank you. Your great-grandchildren will thank you. Their children will thank you. You just wait. Love you all. Talk soon. Take care, everybody.